Pizza lovers, today's recipe is for you. I'm going to show you how to make the easiest and yet still delicious calzone recipe. Hi friends, my name's Christina. I'm with eatingonadime.com. Welcome to my kitchen. If you guys are new here, my sister Carrie and I are on a mission to help real families eat at home on a budget. And you guys are gonna love today's recipe. It's kind of like a lazy day calzone recipe. It's so good, so delicious. I have linked the full recipe in the description below, so you don't have to worry about writing anything down or remembering anything. Just save that recipe and you can make this when you're ready. So for today's recipe, if you've never heard of a calzone before, what it is kind of like a pizza folded on top of itself, or a pizza pocket, and then it's baked, and it has all your favorite pizza toppings in it. So the hardest part of this recipe is deciding what you want to put in it. So choose your favorite pizza toppings. Today I'm doing classic pepperoni, green bell peppers, red onions, and then the only other thing you need is I'm using a pre-made pizza crust for this recipe. This is what makes it quick, easy, and delicious. We do have a homemade version if you want to make your own at home. I'm going to link that in the description as well for you. So if you can't find a pre-made crust at your grocery store, you can just make it at home. And then you need some pizza sauce. And I like to grate my own cheese for this recipe. I'm using mozzarella cheese. I find that if you grate your own, it just melts a little smoother and easier. So first off, let's get all of our toppings ready to go. Now let's get the cheese ready. You just need about a cup of shredded mozzarella cheese. I like to shred my own for the best flavor, and it just melts more smooth and evenly. You can use pre-shredded if you would like. That's completely up to you. We only need about a cup, so I'm just going to shred it here and then measure it out with my measuring cup. I know this is technically like a liquid measuring cup, but I like using it for my cheese as well, just because it's bigger and easier to throw it in there. I'm all about breaking rules if it makes sense over here. You know what I mean? Let's get this cheese shredded, and then we will get the calzone ready to go. So while I'm shredding this cheese, I just want to tell you guys, fun fact, Carrie and I are obsessed with pizza recipes. We love them. So if you go to the website eatingonadime.com, we have a whole category of just pizza recipes. So if you love them just as much as we do, make sure you check that out. And I think generally a cup of shredded cheese is about 4 ounces weight-wise. All right, let's get these calzones assembled. So now that the pan is ready, you want to get your pre-made pizza dough ready. You want about a pound or 16 ounces. Again, you can make your own, completely up to you. Let's see if I can get this to bust open without completely terrifying me. Ready? Woo, it did it. This pizza dough works great. The brand that I'm using today, and I'm not brand specific, so you can use whatever you like. I'm using Pillsbury Pizza Crust brand, and it is gonna work great for this recipe. So you wanna roll it out. And what we're gonna do is evenly divide this into 4 sections, because we're gonna make 4 calzones with this recipe. So I just like to rip it. If you have trouble ripping it, you can use a knife as well. I just rip it so there's half, and then we're gonna rip the half again. It generally rips pretty easy. I just don't wanna risk cutting my parchment paper, so that's why I'm not getting the knife out. And I just do it on the baking sheet. So just get them evenly in the same sections of the baking sheet. So I got them rolled out. As you can see, they're not perfect circles, but it's gonna work great. I'm only gonna be able to fit 2 on my baking sheet just based on the size of the sheet. So I'll prepare another sheet and just do 2 pans, and that's gonna be great because I want them nice and crispy, so I don't wanna overcrowd the pan. Now it's time to add the toppings. So I'm just using a pre-made pizza sauce, and you wanna just put it on half of the dough and leave room around the edges to seal the dough closed. So you don't want to go all the way up to the edge, and you just want to be on half. because otherwise it might be a little too saucy. Now, if you just love pizza sauce, you could definitely do the whole thing, but you don't want to fill them up too much or else it's kind of hard to seal the calzone. Okay, so here's up close. The pizza sauce is just on one side, and this is the edge that I'm leaving clean so that when we fold it over, it can seal tightly. Now it's time to layer on your toppings. So for me, I'm gonna layer on those diced onions and green bell peppers. And this is when you can add anything that you would like to your calzone. And then I'm going to layer on some of the pepperonis. And I just kind of like to do a pepperoni layer so I get a little bit in every bite because I love pepperoni. So based on the size of these, it's about 4, and that's working perfectly. And we're still staying on one side of the calzone. So you're just layering it right on top of that sauce. This one is a little bigger, so I'm gonna do 5 pepperonis on that one. And then top with some of the shredded cheese, of course. We can't have anything pizza or anything calzone without some shredded cheese. Here's the close-up with all the toppings on top. Now that dough does stretch out, so don't worry. When we cover it up, we're going to stretch it and get it to wrap around all those toppings. Okay, so we got them rolled over and sealed shut. Now I like to take a fork and just crimp the edges to make sure they're nice and sealed. This is optional. You can probably seal them with your fingers and it would probably stay shut, but the fork gives it that traditional calzone look and it helps keep the seal together. So I highly recommend it. And you just have to go around that edge where the two are lining up together. You don't need to go over the back side where it's the crease, if that makes sense. Pressing it on down. Nice and sealed. So these are the edges that I sealed. I just press it down with the fork like that, and it seals them shut. And you just want to go all around that open seal. Like this has a little sauce coming out, but that'll be okay. It'll be fine when it bakes. But you don't want it to bring all the way open, so sealing this helps prevent that. Now that the calzone are formed, we want to take a sharp knife and just do 3 little slits in the top, just so the heat can escape when it's cooking and they don't just poof up really big. We want all those ingredients to get cooked and the dough to get cooked as well. Perfect. Now it's time to make the topping. You just want them in the center rack of the oven and they should cook perfectly. And they're ready. So this one is a little bit poofier. So my slits probably didn't go all the way through, but it's okay. It's still gonna be great. And this one looks perfect. And you can see here why we recommend the parchment paper. It can be messy, but the flavor is worth it, I promise. All right, let's get one of these off. And I want to cut it in half and show you guys what it looks like. Okay, let's cut this in half. It has been cooling for about 5 to 10 minutes just so I don't burn myself. But look at that, it looks amazing and cheesy, goodness. Okay, I just want to show you up close. The insides, it's packed with cheesy goodness and all the stuffing. Only thing left is to enjoy it. Now, when I make these at home, I just love serving them with a big side salad. So you get a calzone with the salad. It's a perfect combination and everyone loves it. This is a great recipe where everyone can make their own at home. You can put whatever favorite pizza toppings you love in your calzone, and they're perfect to travel with as well. So if you got to get to a soccer practice or a game practice, it's perfect for the kids to grab and eat on the road. I cannot wait any longer to try it. Amazing. I can't wait for you guys to try this one out and let us know in the comments what you think of this easy homemade calzone recipe. Don't forget, I have linked this recipe in the description below. You can leave us a comment on the actual recipe as well. We love hearing from you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today in my kitchen. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss one of our easy recipes. And until then, I will see you guys next time. Bye, friends. Perfect.